Great to have you with us. We are set to get you over the hump this Wednesday night with another edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Here alongside Tim Legler and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson with Ali LaForce joining us courtside. Well, a chance to check out some stats for Tobias Harris.
During these last 10 games, he's been a menace on the defensive end. Poking balls loose, jumping passing lanes. He's been all over the place and piling up the steals as a result.
Now a look at Detroit's starting lineup. Thompson and Harris make up the forwards. Kevin Huerter out there with Cunningham. And it's Duren in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Toronto, the perimeter filled up by Barrett and Ingram. Barnes is the 4 with Pirtle in the middle. And it's Johnson in at the point guard position. What a treat we have tonight, Tim. These are two of the top teams in the East.
Well, both of these teams have their sights set on the NBA Finals, so this game has extra importance. Playoff seeding and home court advantage will be huge.
And a chance to see the latest edition of the power rankings. Always fun to see where everyone in the league stands. You take a look at the Pistons. No movement for them, maintaining their top 10 spot.
I think for Toronto, they're the best team in the league. No surprise at all. I mean, they have the talent. They will be a factor in the title race.
And that one's good. Cunningham.
Well, as a scorer, Cunningham is equally comfortable from all three levels.
Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Thanks. Well, the Detroit Pistons looking to build on last season's breakthrough. Coach J.B. Bickerstaff said Cade Cunningham's leadership makes his job easier. And all that aside, Bickerstaff said their fierce style is key, adding, win or lose, we win the fight.
Not a team to be taken lightly. All right, Shams, thanks a lot. Now here's Huerter. He played a great game against Charlotte. And there's Cunningham on the assist by Huerter. Cunningham's got his second basket.
And I love the energy from Cunningham inside, pushing to get the bucket.
Johnson passes to Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
Yeah, he gives up a few inches to most of his matchups, but his ability to rise above always gives him a chance. You know, he's smaller for the center position by NBA standards, but his leaping ability more than makes up for his lack of height.
Now here's Ingram, giving them some good production, putting up just around 16.5 points a game. 5 on the clock. Here's Johnson, the rebound by Detroit, coming off a win against the Hornets.
You have to respect their ability to stay consistent away from home, keeping their cool and making quality shots.
And if you want to see how well coached a team is, just look at their efficiency on offense. That's a testament to great coaching.
And Toronto has possession. Following the three-pointer by Detroit. Drops in the 3.
Oh, you gotta love the back and forth, showing real confidence at the arc.
And when you give up a 3, there's always this instinct to try and get it back immediately.
And Toronto has possession. Following the score by Detroit. Here's Huerter. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. It's going to go on R.J. Barrett. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Pistons.
Well, hey, guys, I mean, can we talk about how unselfish they've been? Just racking up the assist numbers, moving it around with great precision.
And how about the work they've done inside, just owning the paint so far?
Huerter passes to Thompson. Here's Harris. Pass to Huerter. Lets the 3 fly. Barnes with the rebound. Kicks it out to Barrett. And it's all tied up.
And when you start out shooting 80% or better as a team, you start to feel yourself a little bit, and that feeling is good.
And again, no good by Detroit. Toronto's gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. A chance here to catch up with Ali from the sideline.
Thanks. Cade Cunningham is leading the way for this Pistons team. Coach J.B. Bickerstaff said he shows belief in his teammates, and that's what leadership is. He's with you during the good and the bad. That gives the rest of his team more comfort and confidence. Guys, back to you.
Establishing the mindset. Ali, thanks very much for the report. Tim, you've been vocal in your praise for Cade Cunningham, and rightfully so.
Well, B.A., on any given night, Cade can be the best player on the floor. He scores, he makes plays, he rebounds, and he processes things quickly. He always seems to be under control. Yeah, that was an easy one. Cade has every shot in his bag.
Timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. Some changes for Toronto. Caldwell Pope comes in for Scotty Barnes. And Emmanuel quickly subbed in for Barrett. Detroit also making some changes. Stewart, he's checked in for Duren. Holland comes in for Tobias Harris. And Green is subbed in for Herter. Here's Cunningham. Following the bucket by the Raptors. It's stolen by Pirtle. Here's Johnson. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Oh, that's great basketball. Denying them on one end while grabbing points on the other.
Thompson, a screen on Johnson. Now here's Cunningham. He was another key contributor in that win against Charlotte. And that one's good. Stewart.
And solid pass from Cunningham. He has a good understanding for when the defense has overcommitted.
Ingram with a screen on Cunningham. Johnson passes to Ingram. And the Raptors getting another bucket right there.
Yeah, their defense is starting to wear down. That's 3 straight buckets at the rim. Both teams are hot. Woo! This is a fun one to watch.
Yeah, both ways. We're seeing a nice rhythm offensively. Now let's see which team can come up with some stops.
They have no answer defensively inside.
And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. He's going to talk it over with his guys. Duren, he's checked in for the Pistons. Sasser comes in for Cunningham. Detroit has gone 1 of 4 from deep. Sasser outside. Dunks it hard with one hand. Wow, he makes it look easy.
Now that's how you capitalize on a screen.
Yeah, good positioning too. Gave him a clear path to the hoop.
Yeah, not only does he create the space he needs, but then he attacks downhill.
Man, that's now 10 straight points in the paint. I'm not sure what's happened to their defense, man.
And the call will be against Brandon Ingram. That's his first foul of the game. So Toronto going with almost an entirely new group here. Scotty Barnes is checked in for your 7. Ingram comes in for Caldwell Pope. Quickly is checked in for Barrett. And it's Johnson in for Gillespie. A big group substitution here for Detroit. Harris is checked in for Duren. Thompson comes in for Holland. Herter's checked in for Green. And Cunningham subbed in for Sasser. Setting the floor for the Pistons. Thompson and Harris make up the forwards. Cade Cunningham out there with Kevin Herter. And it's Stewart in at the 5 down low. Harris finds Cunningham. And here's Herter. The 3 from Thompson. Fires in the triple. And now just a 1-point Toronto lead. And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for the Toronto Raptors. Well, they've got the Bulls ahead of them next in Chicago. It'll be the front end of a 2-game road trip. He drops it from range.
And you have to appreciate the heart they've shown on the offensive boards this quarter.
Outside Herter. The shot's good on the assist by Cunningham. Cunningham's got 6 assists here tonight.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Yeah, just going back and forth. It is really competitive out there.
Oh, man. He got fancy with that finish.
He may be trying to provide the spark they need to break this one open. And it's Cunningham missing.
Yeah, he just can't get anything going in this quarter, and his team desperately in need of a spark.
Wow, that type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. Quickly. Sinks it from distance. And now an 8-point Raptor lead. And an important part of every team's game. A look at the hustle stats for the Raptors.
Yeah, they're just attacking on defense, getting those hands out and knocking the ball free. I really like their energy defensively.
Well, don't forget about their scoring in the open floor. They've been getting a lot of production on their break.
Look at the power on that.
He has to be one of the top dunkers in the game today. Jakob Poeltl, he's checked in for Toronto. Barrett comes in for Quickly.
Wow, that's embarrassing. Come on, just put the ball in the hole.
Cunningham outside. They set a pick. Fires the 3. Barnes with the rebound. Barnes has got his 4th rebound in this one.
Really tough quarter for him shooting the basketball.
Harris outside. His first shot attempt. And it's good. Fought through contact. Hit the shot and will go to the line. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Here's Ingram. Knocks down the step-back J. Ingram's got 7 now in this quarter.
And he was dominant in their last outing. And the same thing here tonight. He is in a terrific groove right now.
And that confidence has carried over to tonight. He is playing great basketball.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that's been very close so far. Toronto out in front, up by 4. Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
On the court now with JB Bickerstaff. Coach, as we approach the second half, what's going to be the deciding factor?
Just maintain. I think there were some things defensively that we left on the table where we gave up some cheap ones because we didn't communicate. So we solved those. I think we give ourselves a good shot going into the half.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks very much, Allie. We'll be back soon to start the second half of basketball.
Fans, direct your attention to center court. And get ready for the fans. First shot of line. They're thinking about the shot. It's all good. One more time. A round of applause for the participants.
Greetings, Shaq, Kenny, and EJ here as we tip off the show with a look at our mid-season Eastern Conference standings.
Taking a look here now at Toronto. I had them as a top team before the season, and now I'm picking them to make the finals. Tell me I'm wrong, Kenny. You can't, because I'm right. 2 + 2 is 5.
And as much as it pains me, I have to agree with Big Fella.
And circling back now to the Raptors' first half, they've got themselves a game.
They're clicking from outside, hard cuts to the ball, and a few bone-jarring screens. Man, they have a high quality of looks.
They've been cashing in on those. We'll see if the sharp shooting continues. And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
And if you're just joining us, we played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Ingram the 3 with Barnes the 4. R.J. Barrett out there with Johnson, and it's Pirtle in at the center position. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
Love that shot by Cunningham. He's developing more confidence in his three-point stroke.
When you think about the skill of Cade Cunningham, Grant, and his height, what a combination.
You know, B.A., whether it's scoring inside or seeing over the defense or just beasting on smaller guards, his 6'6" frame is certainly an advantage.
Duren with a screen on Barnes. And the dunk by Duren.
And that is playing big down in the paint. Duren focused and flushing it home.
Johnson passes to Pirtle. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. And the Raptors lead by 3.
And they keep on figuring out ways to force the rock inside and convert.
Pass to Harris. Back to Cunningham. That falls. Nice setup by Harris. Cunningham's got 16 points.
I like the way they've established their offense to start the half. 3 straight makes.
And so now a timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. Caldwell Pope's checked in for Ingram. Johnson for 3. That one's good. He's now 8 for 13.
Well, the defense is going to try to shut down certain things, but it's impossible to deny everything. That's a skilled play right there.
Now here's Thompson. He's got 6. Jacks up a 3. The shot by Johnson, no good.
Well, after nailing the first 3 out of the break, you can give him a pass for not making that one as well.
Johnson against Cunningham. Clock at 4. From the baseline. He's off on that one.
Well, he usually brings rain from there, but not this time.
Johnson on the wing. Herder defending. And Johnson is good for 3. Now it's a 6-point Raptor lead.
Creating spacing. That's his third three-pointer of the night and his second this half.
No problems knocking that one down. Herder's gotten his second bucket on the night.
Whatever they said at halftime, it is working. They look super confident out there.
Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes getting an opportunity at the rim, and I know that put a smile on his face.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Thanks a lot. The Pistons are improving on both ends, but particularly on defense. Cade Cunningham said, everybody is stepping up on that end and taking the challenge to guard. We have a good system that allows us all to play our strengths. We're still hungry, though. We're not satisfied at all. Back to you.
More to prove. Okay, Allie, thanks for the report.
Well, I love the play call. Get Barnes in there as the screener, and Scotty really can do anything from that formation.
Now here's Cunningham. 19 points in the game. To the inside. Duren, the pass to Cunningham. And the whistle on the shot. Got some contact there. Misses the shot, but he'll shoot 2.
Hey, if you can't block it, sending him to the line can be the next best thing.
The Raptors making a switch here. Ingram's checked in. Both free throws good from Cunningham. Legs, we've seen players extend their primes, extend their careers. What's behind that?
Well, I think you have to look at the absolute best, LeBron James, and what he has been able to do in making that investment in terms of caring for his body. It's a role model that all players should emulate.
Question is, can anybody replicate what LeBron has done?
Boy, that's going to be tough to copy that.
Pass to Johnson. Counted from distance. And it's a 7-point Toronto lead. All right, guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for Toronto?
Their defensive intensity has served them well. It kept the offense scrambling and resulted in several steals.
And I also really like the pace they've played with in this one, specifically how high tempo it's been.
Oh, my goodness!
Just throw it up!
And this kind of six slam is just one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now, B.A.
You know, there's an edge the way they played and a confidence they're not afraid to show. And so the timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff here. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. And the Pistons going with a whole new group out there. Stewart outside. Detroit moving the ball around. Pass to Holland. Takes the 3. Drains the triple. Holland's got 5.
In full-on catch-up mode. They're raining threes right now.
And looks like an illegal pick was set. That gets the ref's attention. And now a chance to see what's coming up for Toronto. On Thursday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Chicago, going up against the Bulls. Then on Sunday, they'll take on Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And for their matchup with the Spurs, it's the second game of a back-to-back. So you know there'll be some heavy legs out there. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes its toll on your body.
Well, it's not easy, but defensively you want to avoid fouling a guy like Quickly.
And a series of injuries for Emmanuel Quickly last season, Tim, stalling his ascent.
Yeah, and we're all hoping that's all behind him now because there is a lot I like about his game. The quickness, the deep shooting, the ability to take you off the dribble. No doubt, Emmanuel Quickly, a guy we have to watch.
An emerging player.
Absolutely.
Sasser can't hit.
Defense dodged the bullet that time. Total breakdown.
Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Wow, that type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. Sasser gets the bucket. Sasser's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Willing passers, unselfish play. You have to appreciate this kind of offense.
From deep, Johnson hits the trifecta. and the Raptors lead by 5.
Oh, you gotta love the back and forth, showing real confidence at the arc.
And when you give up a 3, there's always this instinct to try and get it back immediately.
And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. Raptors out in front, up 5. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get set for quarter number 4. All right, let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
Yeah, so impressive for a big guy to make a find like a guard.
Well, this has been a great contest so far. I imagine the fourth quarter could have. So both teams changing it up here. Setting the floor for the Pistons. Javonte Green out there with Cunningham. Then there's Holland. Then there's Jalen Duren. And it's Stewart in at the 4-man position.
Oh, there was no doubt Barrett was going to flush that one.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Pass to Cunningham. Cunningham going to work inside.
Zero rim protection. Unforgivable in a tight ball game like this.
Well, I'm surprised because he's a guy you have to key on for something like that. You can't let him get one that easy.
VA, I'm not sure he should be flaunting around the rim like that with this game so close.
Oh, it's risky, but it sure did look good. And here's Cunningham outside. And that comes off the assist by Green. Green's got assist number 5 here tonight. And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for Toronto. Pirtle with a screen on Cunningham. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Woo-wee! What a big finish out of the backcourt.
That might be exactly what they needed at this point of the game.
It is nice to have a playmaker who can also get up and finish like that.
Throws it up high. Shot clock at 6. Bucket!
Well, that's Cade Cunningham, the guy you want with the ball in big spots.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. He was quite emphatic, demanding the timeout, clearly wanting to address strategy with his team. Ingram's checked in for Toronto. Detroit also making some changes. Harris is checked in for Stewart. Thompson comes in for Holland. And Herter's subbed in for Green. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Darko Rajakovic was going over with his team. He likes the way they're finishing inside. Coach said when we get close, we are golden. They can't stop us in there. Let's keep pounding it as long as we can.
Great work, Allie. Thanks.
What an injection of energy from Duren. Working hard to find points for his team.
And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for Toronto. Picked by Pirtle. Johnson with it. Now guarded by Duren. Duren pulls it down.
Well, the defense did just enough to force that miss because he is a good finisher.
Outside Harris. And he slams it down.
There is zero fear in Duren. That is a huge bucket for his team.
Johnson. Duren pulls it down. The Pistons leading. It's a one-on-one situation. Count it.
Did you see that? I mean, going right to the rim. That's how you finish in the open floor.
And give him a lot of credit for his effort right there running the floor.
The free ball is down.
Well, controlling your heart rate in big moments like this is something that coaches talk about, and this guy can do it.
Cunningham against Johnson. It's stolen by Pirtle. Now Johnson beyond the arc. Oh, he cannot hit. Harris with it, and Johnson picks him up defensively. Shoots a 3. Can't get it.
Great job on the closeout and taking away space against a good shooter.
Pirtle. Oh, yeah! That's good!
Wow. That takes steady nerves right there.
Completely unfazed by what's at stake. That's just clutch.
Herter outside. Here's Harris.
He and wingspan, Duren makes for an easy target on the lob.
And timeout called by Darko Rajakovic. And a great call on his part. This is the time you want to be in sync right here. All right, what are the considerations at this late juncture?
It's always interesting to see what play a coach has saved for a situation like this.
I am really curious to see what he's got in store here.
Late here in the quarter, they still have a foul to give.
Cunningham against Johnson. He fires from 18, and that's an intentional foul.
Yeah, and that was a smart move. I mean, you have to foul right there. You just don't want them to run out the clock.
At the line for 2.
He drops the first one, and that'll put him up 2. He's off on the free throw, unable to get the second one to drop. And J.B. Bickerstaff decides to call timeout. Critical moment here. He's not taking any chances. And looking at the options here, what do you think is being discussed?
I would honestly attempt to get the ball near the rim, because even if the shot doesn't fall, a quick putback will suffice. Defensively, you can't... afford to get stuck on the pick.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
So it's a narrow victory for the Pistons, pulling it out for the W. And this was an emotional win for them, no doubt about it.
Just a fantastic accomplishment. You love how they just diffuse the energy in this arena.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For reporter Allie LaForce and for Tim Legler and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying thank you for joining us. And let's reveal our player of the game, Cade Cunningham.